Hey guys, welcome back to Clunker Revival. In this episode, we rejet the carburetor and try to get rid of all the backfiring, which you'll see right now when we rev it up. To rejet the carburetor, you got to remove the carburetor from the bike, and the first step is to remove the air filter. Next up, it's time to remove the carburetor from the bike. To do this, you have to remove the throttle cable and loosen one clamp. Once the clamp is loosened, the carburetor will slide off the bike. Once you remove the carburetor from the bike, you can then work on it on a bench. Sorry about the image here. I got the camera angle wrong, but you want to take off the lower bowl as the first step. The lower bowl is held on by 4 Phillips screws. Once we got the lower bowl off, you'll see the 2 jets are exposed that we are going to replace. Thought it best to throw a diagram up here to see what we're going to replace today. So you can see 19, 20, which is a rubber cover, 23, 24, and 25 are the jets that we're going to replace. 19 is also a jet that we're going to replace in the carburetor. The jet just requires a flathead screwdriver. Comes off pretty simple. Next, I thought it best that we take another look at the diagram. We're going to replace the idle air screw. On this old carburetor, the casting is actually covering the idle air screw, so we'll remove the casting first, pull out the plug, and you'll be able to see the idle air screw.
Go ahead. So say what you were saying again.
So yeah, that's just an old trick for like pulling out seals and stuff. You can put a screw into it.
I'd have never figured this out.
So where the screw just bites in, and that's soft aluminum.
Okay.
And then you yank on the screw and it should pull the plug out.
Pull the plug out for the main jet, for the slide.
Oh yeah, so there you go. So for the idle.
Oh, hold on, let me see that.
Yeah, idle air.
So it pulls the idle air out. Right.
So this is the aluminum plug.
Okay. What the hell? That's cool.
Pulls the aluminum plug out.
As my good buddy Jeff explained, we had to remove the casting or the plug to see the idle air screw. Once we remove the plug, we could then see the idle air screw and screw it out.
Taking out bolt jets out of here, and then the idle air screw.
Up next, we wanted to take a look at the diaphragm just to make sure the slide was okay and everything was intact. Okay, what am I looking for in here? There ain't nothing. And this is in pretty good shape.
Yeah. So this is where.
Good.
This is your diaphragm.
Okay.
This is your slide. So that just comes out of there.
Keep going.
Now with the carburetor disassembled, we'll start to put it back together. We're going to replace 19 and 20 first. Then we'll put the jets back in, so 23, 24, and 25. I'll even tell you the size of the jet that we put back in the carburetor.
sorry. We're going to do the 1425.
Now it's time to install the idle air screw. Pretty simple here, just threads in with a flathead screwdriver. Also, I thought it would be a good time to tell a story about my good buddy Jeff and his brother here. His brother, who definitely lives the Clunker Revival life.
Dude, your brother would, he would, if he would have taken my idea of clunkers and just filmed the last 5 years of what he's got going on.
Yeah.
He would do very well.
Yeah.
I was telling him that about the Cadillac. I was like, if that isn't a clunker,
He's a character, too. He would have a fun internet personality.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so you go until it touches. I mean,
Say that a little louder.
So it's turning easy, and then when it stops, don't crank it. So just where it barely stops and you back it out. I do it in half turns. So you got half, 1, half, 2, half, 3.
Okay.
That's a starting point.
So
The further out you adjust this, the more fuel will be introduced at idle. The further in you screw this, the less fuel will be at idle, being leaner.
To give a little background of why we decided to rejet the carburetor, clean it, and inspect it is we really never got the bike to run right. You can see in prior episodes that we really struggled with getting it to idle and not run like garbage. So after further inspection of what we decided that it was running too lean, we decided to tape up the air filter that you'll see in prior episodes, and we got it to run better. But inevitably, we knew we had to rejet the carburetor or put a bigger jet in because we had a big old pot filter letting in too much air into the carburetor. After some research, we found a 6 Sigma 3-stage carburetor rebuild kit on eBay for $35, shipped to your door. And then I asked my good friend Jeff for his assistance in rebuilding a carburetor because I never completed it. It was a great learning process, especially with the casting covering up the idle air screw. I learned so much from this process. And then you can see me here reassembling and getting ready for its first test. You'll see after the startup and the run for a little while, the bike ran pretty clean. No backfire, no sputtering, revved up nicely, and it just sounded so clean. Can't believe this little $35 kit with a medium-sized jet, and there was 3 or 4 more jets in the kit that we didn't use. The bike is just running sound now. Runs like a champ. I'm just so happy. You can see in this image, too, there's no tape on the air filter anymore. Letting in the equal amount of air is matched with the equal amount of fuel, and the bike runs like a champ. Could not be prouder. That's it for this episode of Clunker Revival. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode where we finish up this old clunker.